Hello and welcome to a Sherrie with Sherrie. I'm Sherrie Lowe and this is my feature where I talk about all things book, whether it be other authors' books or my books. And today I want to talk about the authors who've inspired my work. Now I'm going to read this or I'll forget what I want to say because I've got a terrible memory, so please bear with me. Please don't laugh at my accent. I'm a Stokey. We say book, look and cook, not book, look and cook. Sounds a bit common, but we lived in Stockton-on-Tees for a while when we were first married. And I was in my 20s. They say book, look and cook. And they laughed at me. But when I say car park, they say car park. So in some ways I think they sound posh, and in other ways they think I sound posh. But I digress. I came on here to talk about other authors who've inspired me. I've always read from childhood. The first book I can remember was Anna Sewell's Black Beauty. That was my dad's copy. It battered and tattered, he'd read it so often. But it was a wonderful book. The next one was Enid Blyton's Shadow of the Sheepdog that I read when I was 10 and almost read the print of it. Absolutely loved it. I also enjoyed Louisa May Alcott's Little Women and Good Wives that my mum used to read to my sister and I at bedtime beside a roaring, crackling fire in the winter. Dark evenings, so they both hold lovely memories. I'd always had a yen to write, but never had the time when I was working and my children were young. It was only as I developed ME and I was too ill to work that I picked up the pen and sat at the typewriter. I bought an electric typewriter with a lottery win of £40. And my friend said, that typewriter will make your fortune. Sadly it hasn't. I'm still waiting. It's been updated by several computers and laptops. Still no fortune, but there we go. As I read as a child, so I read as an adult. Lots of authors, but the ones who inspired my own writing were Frank McCourt's memoir, Angela's Ashes. I loved the way he told it in a child's voice, maturing to an adult's. And so I adopted the same child's voice for myself in my memoir, Shadow Across the Sun. Another author whose stories that I've loved was Jilly Cooper. I loved her Rutshire Chronicles, right from Riders. You can perhaps see that's a bit battered, it's very well read. I've read all of that series. The only one I missed was Jump, but I caught up with it with Mount. After I'd seen, it was just by chance that I was watching a hotel programme and it was the hotel where she was holding her launch party, complete with the horse, who's the star of the story. So I downloaded the book. No, I didn't download it. I ordered the book straight away. So from reading her series, this was how my Willow's Dip series evolved. A Lapse of Sanity was the first one, but it was never intended to be a series. It was just my first attempt at fiction. But the ending could have gone one of two ways. And after I'd finished it, I wondered how the other scenario would have played out. So I explored that in After the Solstice, which was originally just going to be a sequel, but it turned out to be book 2. Free Flight came next. And for that, I thought it would be fun to have the bird sanctuary set in Willow's Dip and to have the characters from the first 2 books to put in an appearance and an update on their lives and how they interacted with the characters in the new book. A Treasure Lost was book 4, and this was sort of loosely inspired by Sophie Kinsella's 20s Girl. This was a story that I absolutely loved. So funny. There's an appearance of a ghost in it. Some very funny scenes, very amusing scenes. And for the ghost to be speaking in her story, I thought for a treasure lost, I'd have my ghost helping to solve a crime. The idea for book 5, Not Reported Missing, came to me as I read about the discovery of a body locally. And the police didn't know who he was. And I thought, what a task they'd have to find out. So that sort of came up with that mystery, how they would solve the problem of an unidentified body. Whisper to Me isn't actually set in Willow's Dip, but there's a link to it. So for anybody that likes continuity, that would come between books 4, A Treasure Lost, and book 5, Not Reported Missing. So for anybody who likes continuity, it slots in there. That would be the best place to read it. Another ghost story, it tells of a vengeful spirit who is not at all happy that her husband has remarried after her death. So those are the 3 authors who have inspired some of my work. But there are lots of other authors that I've read and appreciated their skill. I discovered the wonderful James Herriot books in the 70s, and it was the first time that a book had made me laugh. I borrowed the first one from my dad and bought everything else that he wrote after that. J.K. Rowling with the Harry Potter series. I loved her attention to detail, and of course the series was magical. Winston Graham's Poldark novels, wonderful. He's got such a superb use of language, so well written, so visual. And of course the series was wonderful as well. I've read several of Danielle Steele books, and I also enjoyed Harold Robbins' books in the 70s, very naughty books with lots of erotic content. You didn't dare to go and buy them in the shop because everybody knew what you were buying them for. A bit like 50 Shades today. But anyway, I was a lot younger then. I haven't got the energy for all that kind of stuff now. Well, I hope you're still with me. Hope you haven't fallen asleep. Thank you for listening. Cheers. Enjoy your day.